Saturday, phase 4. We're doing 5 rounds, 20-20. So 20 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest. First station we're going to work on deadlifts. So we will have it set up like last month, a ton of deadlift things. We'll have trap bars all set along here. Most people should be able to do trap bars. We're trying to move them along, but if they're pretty new, we'll still have kettlebells as well to do kettlebell deadlifts. We're not going to go through that technique, considering you can go back to the last video that we did last month to be able to go through that. So we're going to just go over the straight bar real quick, because we do want to start progressing people over time to the straight bar. And the main reason is we just don't have enough trap bars. So we do need to move them along to the straight bars to give us the benefit of being able to train more people. So on the straight bar, our big things we're looking for is the bar path. Probably the most important thing is keeping that bar right in line. So I'm going to get this as close to my shins as possible. Superman chest, as always, right? We're going to drive those hips back. So when I get to this position here, this is as far as I personally have for mobility in my lower back. So this is my stopping point. What from here I can't touch. So that means I have to squat just a little bit, right? So here, squat down until I get down to that position. Now I can get a hold of my bar and make sure my upper back's engaged. What I want to do at this point here is I want to pull nice and, you got to think about the deadlift as pulling away from the ground, but also pushing away from the ground, right? So I'm using my legs to push me up. A lot of people think of it just as a pull, and that's where all the pressure comes from their back. You gotta make sure you're using your legs to drive it up as well. So I'm gonna pull and push at the same time as I press away from that ground, up, keeping it nice and tight to the body, up, tall, put it right back where I found it. But I gotta keep that same bar path, just straight down, touch that position, okay? So what you're going to see from people is that bar path's going to change. So what happens is they'll come down and that bar will end up here. You see about that, a good almost a foot difference between that. That's a lot of back pressure. So we got to make sure we're correcting that position. So we're in this position here, nice strong, push pull from the ground, up, put it right back where you're nice and tight, back down. I would like people personally to reset every single time. Maybe they only get 3 to 6 reps inside of this, totally fine. But we are looking for them to get stronger. And the only way to get stronger is good quality reps at heavier and heavier weights. Our clients love to go lightweight and do lots of reps, which is not very good for overall strength. So we need to get them to do it. So it's okay to reset, right? So here's what it looked like in live time. Here, nice down, go, up, down. Reset doesn't mean I have to take myself off. It just means I re-engage for a second. Up, down, up, down. So that's different than tapping, right? So tap and go is, if you can tap and go, most likely it's probably too light of a weight for what we're trying to get out of this. So we do want them to have to reset, pull big, strong off the thing. Again, with trap bars and stuff too, making sure we're keeping in line, we're staying strong with everything. Don't just expect people to know how to deadlift, even though because we've been deadlifting the last couple months. You need to coach the deadlift. You need to spend time coaching the deadlift. You need to correct the deadlift. Meaning, like, if somebody's here and they're pulling and they haven't complained about their back hurting yet, doesn't mean that they're doing it right. It means that you need to go coach them up and get them in that right position. These guys are expecting you to coach them, so please coach up this position. Again, we have the trap bar and the kettlebells in this one too. Moving over to exercise number 2. This one we're going to do a snatch. So it's a dumbbell snatch, and we're going to do it from the hang position. So the hang position is where we're going to hold it here and just go between the legs like that RDL, so what we call a hang position, right? So from here, I'm going to snap right down, snap up, over top. So one big pulling motion as I come through here. I personally like to come down the middle of my leg. What it allows me to do is keep more core support. If I get off to one side and come down here, I put a little too much pressure on one side of the body. If somebody's doing it this way, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I personally like to come in the middle of the body more because my core can support it more as I'm coming down. Pull straight up, big pull as I shirk through, and then catch at the top. Catch, right? Come back down, control, here between the legs, hinge, snap. Control, down, hinge, snap. So come to the side here, come back down. One fluid motion all the way through. What you'll see people do is they'll want to do the hang into a clean, right? So they'll want to do this. That's a hang clean to press. We want to do one clean motion all the way through, so that's going to take a little bit of coaching. If you struggle with this movement yourself, don't be afraid to have me or Nate come and coach you up on it, because we need you to be good at that motion so they can demonstrate exactly what they're looking to see as well, okay? So a modification for that instead is going to be Nate?
High pull.
High pull, yep. So on this one, hang, down, high pull, down, high pull, right? So we're trying to keep that in the middle of the body here, high pull. Big thing is try not to catch yourself in the face when you come through, okay? Exercise number 3, we'll come over to the wall. We're doing wall balls. So on a wall ball, we're gonna ask for them to get as good of a squat as we can, right? So we're always looking for 90 degrees below. It doesn't have to be acid grass, as you guys saw with the other video, like not everyone's gonna be able to squat acid grass. But 90 degrees is an acceptable range to ask for, right? So we wanna make sure they're getting low enough. So a couple things with the medicine ball. I like to think of the 3 points of contact. So the 3 points of contact are the hands on the outside. The second point is the hand on the chin. And the third point is actually where it hits your chest, right? So here's the 3 points of contact. My elbows are underneath. This helps people be stable as that weight's going up. So in this position here, I'm squatting down deep, drive, I'm aiming for that great line, catch. Right back in that fluid motion, okay? So a couple things to think about on this one is it's only 20 seconds. So they can go heavy. They don't need to be at 6 or 8 pounds. They need to be at probably females 8 to 12, and guys probably 14, at least 12, but 14 up to 30 pounds would be probably doable with a 20-second thing, because we have a 20-second break in between as well. Our modification on this is going to be a chest pass, right? So instead of doing a medicine ball push press, which looks too much like it and it's hard to know which one they're doing, we're just going to do a regular chest pass here. That position, so we can know which of the two they're choosing to do. The people are doing the medicine ball chest pass. That's really for knee issues is why we're choosing that. I mean, it's tough in general, but I'd rather see people get that squat motion going on, okay? Exercise number 4, we're doing some Pallof presses. We haven't done these in a while, but this used to be a staple of ours, and it's a really good exercise. So, first thing you're gonna think about is I like to grab with my outside hand first around it because that forces this core to brace a little bit more. I'm gonna take my inside hand and wrap it around here. Doesn't really matter if you go the opposite direction, just make sure that they're wrapping their hands around each other. You're gonna pull it right to the middle of the chest. From here, we have different ways to modify it. So I'm gonna start with my feet shoulder width apart to start with. From here, abs tight, butt squeeze, right? As tight as possible. Whenever doing core work, especially stability work like this, anti-rotation work, then everything has to be engaged really, really tight, right? So hunker down, nice and tight, core tight. I'm pressing straight out, straight line, bring it right back in, okay? My first modification to make it harder or easier would be my feet, not the band, okay? So once again, first modification, easier, more stability. Harder, less stability, right? That's modification number 1. Now from there, okay, that's still too easy. My next step is to come out a little bit farther, okay? Then we go back to shoulder width, so then we can make those modifications again, right? Coming in that position. But people instantly want to walk out as far as possible, and then they're way out here, and they're no longer using their core to push it. They're bracing with their hips and stuff, and that's doing most of the work, and they're not really bracing the core and the glute and the lower back area to be able to do it. So make sure they're not stepping out too far. I think for 90% of people, the red band's gonna be plenty. The black band's almost too much, but we will have the black bands hooked up too, just in case, okay? And then you're gonna switch sides each round. So we'll face the door the next round, back and forth. And I don't remember station number 5.
It's a plank burpee with a jumping jack.
Yeah, okay, plank burpee and jumping jack. I designed this program, I can't remember the program. So plank burpee and jumping jack. So in this turn, we're gonna go down. I do want a plank burpee, not a full burpee. And the reason I want the plank burpee is because we're trying to look for a little bit more speed out of this position because it's only 20 seconds. So plank burpee, we're coming down, touch the ground here, back, up, jumping back, right back. Trying to get lots and lots of reps in. 20 seconds, we're not gonna get a ton of reps. We're just looking for speed out of that. Our main modification for that one is going to be doing it on a ball. So on a ball, they're going to be a little bit slower, probably just because of the stability part. We're going to come down, kick. If you have somebody that can't do jumping jacks at all, they can't jump, I would rather them just do that than try to do one of those, because that's just going to slow them down. So I'd rather them do that variation if we need to. All right, guys, this finisher is a burner. This one really burns out the body. So we're gonna really work on the legs. So the first one we're gonna do, we have 30 seconds of work, followed by 30 seconds of work again, no rest in between them. We go back and forth between 2 exercises, so 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30 for 4 rounds. Yeah, 4 rounds, and then you're gonna end with a 1-minute ending part. The last minute will be 1 exercise. So we're gonna go through those real quick. So the first one's gonna be jump lunges. So you're gonna do 30 seconds of jump lunges. Realistically, most people can't keep going for 30 seconds of jump lunges. So what they're gonna do is as many jump lunges as they can. Then modification is they're probably gonna go into reverse lunges. So we have reverse lunges here. We don't need to weight these. These are plenty hard for 30 seconds on that. If we need to keep modifying it, we'll go through other modifications for that at the end of the video for the three exercises for somebody that has knee issues or really bad stability. So we're gonna pair that together with body weight squats. So we could do a weighted squat depending on how good this person is and how strong they are. Body weight squat's gonna be plenty hard for most people. If I was to weight it, I'd probably just weight it with a medicine ball. I wouldn't go with a heavy weight. Medicine ball is gonna be plenty. The key is depth. If they get really good depth and nice quick speed, is the hard exercise. So here, I'm gonna drop my knees out, coming down quick. Speed squats as we're coming through that position. Again, we can weight it if we need to. Most likely not going to. Most people are gonna be able to do a squat. Otherwise, we could TRX them. But again, we're gonna have a modification for people that would probably need that, so we won't worry too much about it. So you have jump lunges for 30 seconds, squats for 30 seconds. Jump lunges for 30 seconds, squats for 30 seconds. You're gonna do that for 4 straight rounds. In your last minute, you're gonna end with a minute of jumping jacks. The legs should be burning by that point. They should feel like jello. That's our goal, is to really burn out the legs at the end, see what happens, see how the body moves, and just have a little bit of fun with them on that. So we're gonna go next, and we're gonna go ahead and teach you guys the modification. All right, guys, the finisher for this one, for people that are modified, we're just gonna modify them completely because this is a pure lower body one. So this is really only modified for people that have major knee issues. This is not really a modification for people that don't want to squat. If they can squat, they need to be doing body weight squats. But, so this one here, we're gonna do medicine ball chest pass for 30 seconds. And then we're gonna do 30 seconds of overhead close toss. You see on this one how I'm long and tall, and it's really just snapping my hands through, so it's mainly shoulders. This one, I'm mainly chest and I'm coming through. They're gonna really burn up their shoulders. So we can do that 30-30 back and forth, just like when those people are gonna do lunges and squats. In the last minute, we're going to do this 90-degree wall sit for a minute. Now, one thing to think about is don't teach this circuit if you have no way that's gonna do it. It's a waste of time. Only teach if you have somebody that's gonna do it, and I'll probably tell those people, while everybody else is getting to their spots, I'll take probably 3 or 4, whoever need to come over here. I'll take them all at once over and teach them that over here by themselves, okay?